Hey guys, how you doing? Ron Raymond here from the Raymond Report with your free NHL previews and predictions for Tuesday, January 19th. Hoping you have yourself a good start to your Ruby Tuesday. As always, don't forget, subscribe to our channel by tapping that notification bell in the top right-hand corner. All right, guys, before we get to today's matchups, don't forget, you can get a lot of the trends and angles here at the ATSstats.com website. In fact, I got 100 trends on tonight's game for the Pittsburgh Penguins, 100 trends on the Washington Capitals. It's all for free. Just go ATSstats.com, click on the Sidney Crosby picture or link, and you'll get that along with other information. And if you're interested in the ATS Stats membership, right now, we're giving away 25% off any memberships. Use promo code ATS25. All right, let's get to your games here tonight on the NHL. Had a not bad decent night last night, 2-2, 3-1 my NBA selection. So again, if you're interested in my top plays, you can get them right here at ATSstats.com. Now the Ottawa Senators taking on the Winnipeg Jets. Now everybody thought the Ottawa Senators were going to be a team that would probably go like 0-56 or how many games they're playing, but they surprised the Leafs at the top of the year. But then they at least got them back 3-2. But this is going to be a gritty Ottawa Senators team. The one thing I'm seeing early with this team is there's a lot of sandpaper on this team. So I'm telling you right now, you come to Ottawa, you play the Senators, you better bring your lunch bucket because it's going to be a blue-collar game. Now, Winnipeg coming off a loss last night to the Maple Leafs. And, this line's been all over the place. It opened up, let me see here, I think it was 120 for the Sens and then went to the Jets, and it's been flip-flopping all morning. 120 for the Jets, and then it won 116, then 111, even money, and now it's leaning towards, look at this. It went to the Jets and now back to Ottawa. So the public really don't know what to take here with the Ottawa Senators and the Jets tonight. ATS forecast, going to lean with Ottawa here. 3.13, 2.73, the over-under at 5.86. I do think it's going to be a low-scoring game. Both teams are 1-1 on the year. And looking at, still too early to get into the chance of winning and the Kogu because they haven't, normally I need about 3 games in the system before we get to that. But looking at the last 10 games when Winnipeg travels to Ottawa, they are 6-4 straight up, 7-3 against the point spread, 3-6-1. And early on in teams that are playing back-to-back games on road teams, 6-5 and 7-4 to the over. So not a bad trend right there to keep an eye on. All right, look at this. Road teams this year, 6.5, 4-11 straight up. So not good for the road teams when it involves high-scoring games. All right, let's get to the next game here. Buffalo, back-to-back game between the Sabres and the Philadelphia Flyers. Credit to the Sabres last night. I was on Philly, and they gave them a thumping, 6-1. Now, back-to-back game situation. Those are the type of games I really like to lean back to the team that got especially dismantled in the last game, like Philly. But the good thing is with Philly, they don't have a day to think about this. They get right back. It's a back-to-back day with no rest. Now, the bookmakers have made the Flyers a 135 favorite, over-under set at 5.5. ATS forecast, the computer pick, gonna lean with the Flyers here. 3.24, 2.71, the over-under at 5.95. Brian Elliott looks like he's confirmed for tonight, and expect Carter Hutton to be in nets here for the Buffalo Sabres. And in the other game between Ottawa and Winnipeg, don't be surprised if Matt Murray gets the call and Laurent Brossoit for the Winnipeg Jets. Now, looking at the Flyers on the season, 2-1 straight up. And those 2 wins were against Pittsburgh, I believe, or Washington. I can't see here. We'll tell you in just 1 second. Pittsburgh. They won 6-3 and 5-2 handily. But then Buffalo, they lose to the Capitals, and then they come on the road and act like road warriors against the Philadelphia Flyers. They're 1-2 on the year. Now, looking at the chance of winning, still not enough games in the forecast yet. I'll wait another day or two to start getting into the percentage play. Looking at the history between these 2 teams, for the Buffalo Sabres when they travel to Philly, 3-7 straight up, 6-4 to the over, and in the last 10 head-to-head games, 7-3 for the Flyers, but not last night, 7-3 to the over. So it should be an interesting matchup here this evening. I got to give the nod here to the Flyers. I think after getting embarrassed last night, you're going to see a more gritty team come out tonight. All right, New Jersey taking on the New York Rangers. In fact, one thing I want to bring up here is the scoring offense of for defense and offensive rankings. These are good things to look at here, especially early on in the season. Gives you a little early indications. And there's something about this game here between New Jersey. Look at this that I saw earlier. They're ranked 9th on defense. There was when they played the Islanders or the Rangers, the Bruins. Sorry, 2-1, 3-2. So low scoring games in those matchups with the Bees, and that's why I wanted to bring your attention to that. Now going into this game, Rangers, funny 2 games, right? They get blanked 4-0 in the first one, and then they beat the Islanders 5-0 in the second one. So a little payback. Now they host the other metropolitan team around the area, New Jersey Devils, and they're a 147 favorite. The over-under at 5.5. Forecast going to lean with the Rangers here, 3.52, 2.61. The over-under at 6.13. And looking at the probable goalies here tonight, we should get Georgiev for the Rangers and Mackenzie Blackwood for the Devils. Let's take a look at the line moves on this game, see if there's anything that really stands out. Now opened up here, minus 147, 152, and it's down $1. So a bit of a line move to the Devils here, and the over-under 5.5. Liking the over here. Look at this, minus 140 to the over. So if you do like the over here tonight, the early indicators are pointing that way. But like I said, those tight scoring games against the Bruins, Bruins, they're showing it again yesterday. They can't score on regular. I don't think the Boston Bruins have scored a 5-on-5 goal yet this year. Everything's been on the power play. So this one here might go under, but I think I would give a lean towards the Devils right now, but it's still early. All right, let's take a look at the Chicago Blackhawks and the Florida Panthers. Now looking at the, I think this is a lot of back-to-backs, right? Yeah, here we go. 5-2 win for the Panthers on Sunday night. And Florida only played one game. That was a win, obviously. 167 is a price tag. That's a big price tag for the Florida Panthers in my book. 3.45, 3.03 favoring Florida. Over-under at 6.48. So it does like it to go under the total. And let's take a look at some of the early line moves on this game, just to see if there's anything that's really coming to our attention. So, 172. Bit of money coming on Chicago. Chicago's going to be hurting this year, let's be honest. I don't think they got the goaltending to compete. And, their top players are getting older now, and some have left. 6.5 is the total. Looking at the history, when Chicago plays the Panthers in Florida, 6-4 straight up. Not a bad record, 3-7. But this is a new edition of the Chicago Blackhawks. So one thing that never changes is the line. And looking at tonight, I don't know. I don't think I'm going to touch this game. I like the Panthers, but I don't think I'm laying that kind of juice on Florida. All right, the second game of the series between the Capitals and the the Pittsburgh Penguins and Washington Capitals. If you watched that game on Sunday, really good hockey game. Capitals, had the lead most of the game, and then Pittsburgh came back. They went to overtime, and then they won it on a shootout with a nice goal for the Penguins. I think Gunsel was the one who got it, a 5-hole. It was a nice move. Fake the backhand and go to the 5-hole. That was a nice shot. And Washington, now going to this one, underdog. Looking at the 135 price tag on the Penguins, the over-under set at 6.5. ATS forecast, going to lean with the Sid the Kid and company, 3.31, 3.06. The over-under at 6.37. So it does like it to go under the total. These two teams combined have a 5-1 over record, so be careful with that. A lot of firepower on the ice. So the one thing when you're playing, they're trying to bet an under with teams that can, you look at that Calgary game last night. You thought after a period and a half that thing was going to finish 1-0, and look at that, they just blew up and it was 5-2, right? And it was lucky I had the over in that game, but it was looking ugly early. Let me see with the lines. 120, 135. So early money coming in on the Penguins. They needed that win, I'll tell you that. If they were to start the season 0-3, man, it would have been an ugly scene in Pittsburgh. And, watching Malkin the other night, I don't know, something he just, doesn't have that speed there. I'm hoping, I'll have to give it another game, but I wasn't impressed with Malkin in his first game. Sid the Kid looked pretty good. But, I'm going to keep an eye on this Pittsburgh team. I think Pittsburgh is going to be overvalued on a lot of nights. Maybe tonight's one of them, right? I think Pittsburgh is starting to look like an old team, and we'll see. All right, looking at the Penguins in their last, very even, 5-5, 7-3 to the over. And again, when you got that much firepower in the ice, they can put like they say, put the biscuit in the net, and maybe the over might be worth a look here tonight. But there's no value. To me, there's no value in the over. I would love the under, but there's just too much firepower, right? So if you look for value, obviously it's on Washington. So maybe Washington is where you want to lean towards tonight. especially at law of average, right? Washington lost the first one, so maybe go back to the Capitals here tonight. All right, Columbus, minus 182 price tag over the Red Wings. They won yesterday on a noon 12 p.m. start, the afternoon game. Now 182 for a Columbus Blue Jacket team that's 1-2, and I don't know. Even though it's Detroit, you look at Detroit's game so far this year: 3-0 loss to the Hurricanes and a 4-2 win. Carolina beat the Nashville Predators last night, and then a 3-2 loss to the Blue Jackets. So they are competing. So you are going to find value with the Red Wings on some night. And let's take an early look at the line moves here. 5.5, and looking at the money line. So 175, 180. There's no way I'm laying 180 on a Columbus Blue Jacket team with Fonzie. Torts, I think he's really got to give it up. Like, I'm a football coach, and there's times where you got to adjust to the current situations in society. And, kids, players, that old school military type coaching doesn't work. And the great coaches will adjust. And you've seen some of the good coaches adjust. I think a guy like Brian Kelly at Notre Dame, he was a hardcore military, in your face type guy. Look what happened to him. He adjusted and he had a really good season. I think a lot of these old school type coaches really need to start adjusting to the new way of doing business in this new climate of because guys won't put up with that crap. No one wants to get barked at, right? So speaking of barking, right? Barky Boucher, Guy Boucher, look where he's at right now. You can't be that coach. You can't be that coach who's just going to be like, the drill sergeant, because you're going to lose your guys. And if that continues, management will be forced to do something. So just a little shout out as one coach to another. Time to make an adjustment. Looking at the line, we already did. 1-2, 9-1. Look at this, 9-1 in their last 10 trips to the old Joe. Detroit 1-9. So yeah, Detroit's really not the when Illich was the owner, great owner, but it hasn't been since he's passed away, right? But Detroit really got to get back on track, because that's Hockey Town is not Hockey Town right now. In this game, I think I'd lean towards, pass. Yeah, when in doubt, pass. There's other games, right? Carolina taking on the Nashville Predators. Minus 116 is the price here on Carolina. Big win last night against Nashville. 5.5 is the total. 3.69, 2.35. The over/under at 6.04. Looking at the price tag here, 116. Not a bad price tag on the Canes here, but Nashville. You know what? I don't hate this team. I think they're a good team. They're not bad. Looking at their games here so far this season, Columbus 3-1. Columbus can't score though. 5-2, and then a 4-2 loss last night to Carolina. But what's the history between the Canes and so 2-8? So Nashville really struggle against Carolina in their last 10 overall, and then Carolina 6-4 in their last 10 in Nashville in the Music City. So be careful. Maybe Carolina back-to-back. But the thing is, in these back-to-back games, it's like the playoffs game, right? The first two games of the series, the zigzag theory, you always play the law of averages. And I think Nashville plus 106 tonight? Let me see here. Maybe minus 105. Minus 105. So maybe Nashville is the play here tonight. But again, maybe there's more value on other games. Colorado taking on the LA Kings. 244 price tag on the Avs. 5.5 is the over-under. ATS forecast 3.52, 2.52. The over-under is 6.04. Kings 0-2 in the year. Colorado 1-1. Big win in the last game. I think it was an 8-0 or 8-0 win against the Blues. Man, 8-0 win against St. Louis. That's something right there. After being spanked 4-1 in the first game. LA coming off 2 losses of 4-3 against the Wild. I think the second one was a crazy win too. Hit the post and then they came back and scored and won in overtime. I think that was the game. Not sure. It's either that one or Anaheim. I'm not sure of that one. LA 7-3 in the last 10 against Colorado. So wow, you know what? Looking at the history between these two teams, Colorado, good. Could be a contender in the Western for Vegas. 7-3. That's a pretty good record against Colorado. And Colorado 3-7 when they travel to the Staples Center. 2-6-2 to the under. Maybe the under is where you want to look here tonight. Let me see who's the probable goalies tonight. between Jonathan Quick and Philip Grubauer. So, probably got some good goaltending going here. What's the over under the 5? I wish it was at 6. If it was at 6, then I'd probably, the thing I like with 6, that 6 will, it pushes, will give you back your money, right? But yeah, I don't know. I'm not, it's still early though, but it's like what Yogi Berra says, it's early late. But yeah, so I think if you're looking for value, the Kings might be worth a look here. Let me see in their first, coming off 2 1-goal games, and they got a good history against the Avs, and the Avalanche. Okay, coming off a big win, people are gonna see that and they're gonna say, oh, they're gonna kill them. But 4-1, they lost the first one 4-1, so they're not starting off on a high note here, like Vegas is, right? All right, guys, there you have it. NHL preview and predictions for a Ruby Tuesday. A lot of games here tonight. What, 7 game? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 games tonight on the Bettman circuit here. So, all right, guys. Don't forget, I'll do another video with my hockey picks at hockeypicks.com. That's one of my sites. I put in my selections. And but if you're interested in the Raymond Report, you can get it right here each and every day. In fact, we have a. Before you go, I wanted to show you this. These are the matchups. So this will be good in another 2-3 games when there's more, about 4 or 5 games in each system. It just gives you an idea where teams rank offensively and defensively. And normally I like to look for value in top 10 teams. So look at Buffalo, ranked number 9th right now on offense. So this game could be over. Look at New Jersey, ranked 9th on defense. So that's why I might give them a lean tonight. Florida, only 1 game in the system, so we can't really judge that. Look at Pittsburgh and Washington. Wow, 29th and 19th on defense. Man, they're going to have to shore up that defense. Columbus ranked 21 and 15. Carolina ranked 8th on defense, 12 for Nashville. And Colorado, after 2 games, ranked 5th on defense. So interesting. Again, we'll wait and see when there's more games in the systems. And don't forget, you can get our top 100 stats tonight on the Pens and the Capitals. Just go to our website, click on this, and it'll give you the stats and trends and angles on tonight's game between the Penguins and the Washington Capitals. All right, guys, have yourself a great rest of your Ruby Tuesday. As always, shop for value, play those percentages. We'll see you back shortly with another Raymond Report.